and welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. It's 2021 now, and I want to get the year off to a good start. So let's talk about something unique and a bit weird. But also something Star Trek related because, you know, me and Star Trek. By the mid-1970s, Star Trek was in a weird place. The animated series had been popular, but not with the demographic it was supposed to be for, and that tends to matter when it's meant to be for children. By the end of 1974, it was cancelled. However, the thing about the animated series was that it helped keep Star Trek in the eyes of the public, much like the constant reruns and syndication were also doing. As such, it shouldn't be surprising that in 1975, Peter Pan Records, a company specializing in vinyl records for kids, decided to produce some audio dramas for Star Trek. 7 were initially created, and they were apparently fairly successful. In 1979, when the motion picture was released, they decided to capitalize on it and produced 4 additional records, including the one we're talking about today. And therein lies the very interesting thing about these. They're not just records. They also produced comic books that came with some of those records. You could read along with the story as it was being performed. You know, in case as a child you were utterly devoid of an imagination. Now, you remember how the Gold Key Star Trek comics frequently got things wrong, partly because the people who made them had never seen Star Trek before? Well, these are even weirder, because occasionally they clearly had seen the show, in particular the animated series, and yet they got a lot of very basic stuff wrong. For instance, in several of these, Uhura was a blonde white woman, or Sulu was a black guy in a blue shirt. None of those elements are present in the one we're looking at today, one from the 1979 releases, but it's just so damn weird, especially in light of the fact that the animated series had just happened and the records made references to it. Admittedly, when they brought over Maress, aka Lieutenant Catgirl, into these, apparently she suddenly became a blue woman with green hair, so maybe it was just the artist who never actually looked at what they were supposed to be referencing. Then again, maybe they were just predicting what they'll end up redesigning her species to look like if we ever see them in Star Trek Discovery. On that note, we don't actually know the creative team behind the 1979 releases. The original ones were written by Alan Dean Foster and produced by Neil Adams' Continuity Comics company. It's funny to actually try to listen to these, because of course nobody from the original series is in this. If you're lucky, some like Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, they try to do an impression of them. And I don't mean in a mocking William Shatner kind of way. They're trying to get the overall tone of how they talked. Kirk is hit or miss, Spock and McCoy are pretty spot on. Sulu, on the other hand...
It's incredible, Captain. This planet is almost an exact replica of Earth during its prehistoric Cretaceous period.
And don't call me tiny, boy howdy. So anyway, why this one in particular when we could have had one of those goofier ones to look at? Well, partially because this was the first of these that I read when I first learned about these things, and partially because I still feel kind of bad that last year we were going to look at Dinosaur Rex, that comic that turned out to be a big load of nothing, and as such, you guys were denied dinosaurs. And damn it, it's time for us to rectify the mistakes of 2020. I'm giving you some dinosaurs. Let's dig into the Star Trek book and record set, Dinosaur Planet.
Atop the fourth wall, where bad comics burn. Linkara's gonna teach you all a lesson you won't learn. What's with these awkward subjects? What's all this art so rubbish? To anyone who's had a bad comic published, it could be your turn. Linkara, he is a man, punch, sporadically a grouch. Linkara, he has his own spaceship, but he's always on his couch. A universe in flux, Linkara. This comic sucks, Linkara.
The cover is unimpressive, but mostly because of the decision to slap on the very poorly cut out images of Kirk and Spock from the motion picture on here. And I mean it. According to this, Spock's hair is very pointy in a few spots. Otherwise, if these had just been drawn images, they'd fit in just fine with the cartoony art of the rest of the cover. Especially since it is actually pretty accurate to the contents, down to the dinosaurs who are apparently having a lot of lazy eye issues. And that pterodactyl back there who seems very unimpressed with how it was realized. Look at those poor dinosaurs, they look so thirsty. No wonder they can't focus their eyes straight. And indeed, we follow on from that in the teaser page, wherein we see our brave heroes shooting at one of them while the one visible eye on the thing doesn't even look like it was paying any attention to them. Anyway, we truly open with Kirk on the bridge. These are the new voyages of the Starship Enterprise. One could even call it a Phase 2, or even a next generation of voyages. Either way, thank the marketing department on this one. Its mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, and shoot at it. To boldly go where no man has gone before. Which probably explains why we're completely lost right now. The Starship Enterprise, the pride of the Federation of Planets' sleek fleet, streaks across the galaxy on its latest adventure. By the time of the second movie, Starfleet decided to cancel its policy of giving their ships a coat of gloss when entering dry dock. It just wears off as soon as you hit Warp 5. They're on their way to investigate the mysterious Oblique star system. What exactly is so mysterious about it is never explained. Approaching the system, they examine the third planet. The sight seen by the crew on their view screen is a wondrous one. At least it will be once we can skip past the 20-minute ad beforehand. Who even does that? Spinning slowly before them is a vast, rocky planet, scarred a dark red by huge volcanoes that hurl great chunks of colorful lava into the air. Mr. Spock, prepare to deploy the exfoliating cream. The very surface seems to boil with liquid anger. Ah, so its oceans are made of Dr. Pepper. Spock's analysis indicates that despite the violent surface, the planet is capable of supporting life. That being said, it'll take millions of years to develop humanoid life if it's anything like Earth. Then again, I'm not sure why they're concerned about the planet. They really should be worried about the Enterprise, because somehow the star drive section of the ship has shrunk and the nacelles and pylons warped. God, it's like someone took the 3D model of a Constitution class and just squeezed bits of it here and there for no reason. Anyway, despite the estimates, Spock's sensors do indicate the presence of intelligent life on the far side of the planet. Oh, and here's something that really indicates how this book really was meant to be read along with the record as opposed to just its own thing. Kirk orders Sulu to turn off the alarm. The alarm that's not sounding in the comic, but is sounding in the record. But of course, there isn't any in the comic, and I wonder how frequent a thing that was in these. Just look at poor Sulu here in this panel. This is a man who looks dead to the world because his captain keeps telling him to turn off noises that aren't there. But yeah, not sure how exactly sensors can detect complex sapient life, but they have. And if that is true, their lives are in deadly danger. No human could survive on this primitive planet for more than a day. Does Kirk think these are just some visitors? It's a developing planet. It's not like this stuff just happened overnight. Clearly the species has been surviving here for a while just fine. And hell, if he does think it's just visitors, why does he assume that they don't know about the planet? Still, he believes that there are people in need of rescue, so he assembles an away team consisting of himself, Spock, Dr. McCoy, Sulu, and two... well, I was gonna call them red shirts, but this comic believes that everyone wears all gray versions of those ugly uniforms from the motion picture. Joining them on the dangerous mission was the Enterprise's resident history buff, Mr. Sulu, and two tough, muscular security men. Thank you, narrator. I was worried for a second about the physiques of the security officers. You have put my mind at ease. Said security officers are Tonka and Wadsworth, which sounds less like a tough, muscular security man and more like the Enterprise's butler. Though given the usual depictions of butlers in fiction, we can probably assume he has, like, a secret past as an MI5 agent. Or that he's Tim Curry. They beam down, and McCoy is unimpressed. I told you! There's nothing here but red-hot lava and burned-out craters. I think all the heat warped your machine's sensors, Spock. Anyone with half a brain could see there's no life here. Can we go? My favorite show is on in an hour, my TiVo is on the fritz, and I need to watch it before everybody spoils it on Twitter. Like, even for McCoy, this seems a bit ornery. The sensors were in space. The heat of the planet is not going to affect them like that. Anyway, Spock is always at the ready for retorts to McCoy. My machine, as you call it, Doctor, is far more exact than your instincts, and thankfully, it uses more of its brain than you do. Oof, Spock didn't even need the volcanoes for that burn. Now take it easy, you two. If the ship's computers say that there's life on this planet, I believe it. They've never been wrong before, and it's a good thing there wasn't an entire episode questioning the fallibility of the computers and how indeed they can be wrong, or else that statement would just be silly. Oh, here I am pointing out continuity mistakes. That is so old, Voyages of the Enterprise. It's incredible, Captain. This planet is almost an exact replica of Earth during its prehistoric Cretaceous period. Why, just over there is a group of morons in a time machine with God trying to find Jurassic Park. The coloring is kind of weird in this comic. The landing party is colored consistently, but no one else is. The sky changes from green to blue to yellow to purple to orange to yellow again. The rocks they're on sometimes are orange or brown, then become green. I thought at first maybe we were seeing nightfall since there's a sun in a few panels that seems to be descending, but even that changes color from a reddish orange to just orange and then finally blue. I get it. It makes for more interesting, colorful images for the kids instead of a kind of static color palette, but it's just kind of weird. Anyway, Tonka says that he saw some weird shadows near the clouds. According to my portable tricorder, Captain, there is no intelligent life in the nearby area. Then why the hell did you guys pick this spot to beam down to? As McCoy reiterates his belief that the computers were wrong, the group is soon attacked by a pterodactyl. Just as the hearty security man shouted his warning. Man, the narrator is thirsty for some security men. The group flees from the attacking flyer. Doctor, I believe you said anyone with half a brain could see that there's no life here. Isn't that correct?
Oh, throw that in my face!
A pterodactyl. A prehistoric bird. I wish it were a prehistoric pussycat. So, like a saber-toothed cat? They try shooting it with their phasers, but apparently its skin is too thick. It is enough to drive it off for the moment while they seek cover, though. More pterodactyls come to attack, forcing the group into a cave. Wadsworth, look where you're going! There's a rock in your path! What? Ugh! Yeah, idiot! Didn't you see the rock in this cave? But yeah, I guess he trips or something and falls over, bumping his head. He's okay, just disoriented and woozy, so Kirk helps carry him. Move it, or we'll be dinosaur meat! Come on, Ensign Load! My name's Wadsworth, Captain. Trust me, your new name is better and more accurate. Kirk wants recommendations on what to do now. I say Scotty should beam us up immediately. I think you should get Scotty to kill those birds with photon torpedoes from the Enterprise. Oh, yeah, good. Just fire some antimatter warheads at the pterodactyls and vaporize yourselves along with them. There's no kill like overkill. Hey, that's not like you, Wadsworth. You can't kill living creatures on a whim. It would be criminal. Is it really a whim when the things are trying to eat you? Spock thinks that Wadsworth is suffering from heavy emotional shock brought on by him tripping, which now just makes it even more hilarious how the narrator was so obsessed with pointing out how big and muscular the security guards were that just tripping screwed one up so much. Kirk says they'll proceed down the cave to find another way out, not addressing why indeed Scotty can't just transport them, but whatever. The rocks are too thick, ionic interference, multimodal reflection sorting, whatever is preventing it. We'll find another way by following the trail of golden liquid that flows by our feet. Ew, they found the dinosaur's sewer system! By gosh, the captain's right. Look at that golden river here. Why, it goes all the way down into the cavern. This is gonna lead into that golden lagoon from the original Transformers cartoon and reveal it to be a prequel to their crossover. Further down along the way, they discover a series of walls made of gemstones, precious ones like rubies, diamonds, and emeralds. I'm rich! I mean, we're rich! Who would have thought that such a savage planet would hold such riches? Man, Wadsworth must have hit his head hard because apparently he forgot that these things are completely worthless.
We could manufacture a ton of these on our ship for you, Cora. They mean nothing to us.
Captain Kirk, you must destroy the monsters out there and claim this wealth in the name of the Federation! We're a colonialist power, right? God, my head hurts. May I remind you, Mr. Wadsworth, that the first article of our Federation creed is to respect the rights of all intelligent life forms. Those creatures are just mindless monsters! This is why you need these guys to be eaten by space monsters 5 minutes after they beam down. Mr. Wadsworth, Mr. Spock has said that there is intelligent life on this planet, and before I kill or claim anything, I intend to find it. Then we can kill everything and steal the gems. There are procedures, mister, and I'm gonna follow them. Before they can continue on, they're confronted by a T-Rex. Or at least some Godzilla-esque variant of one. Tyrannosaurus Rex, the king of the dinosaurs. The most ferocious and powerful flesh-eating creature Earth has ever known. That's funny. Doesn't look anything like the T-Rex from King Dinosaur.
It resembles the Tyrannosaurus Rex of Earth's prehistoric age.
Sorry, no way.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
It's an iguana.
Why are all the T-Rexes constantly sticking out their tongues? Anyway, Wadsworth says yet again that they should just try to nuke the site from orbit, but Spock then realizes that these things are very different from actual T-Rexes, since they have longer arms and their skulls are bigger, so theoretically they have larger brains. Captain, I submit that these monsters are not monsters at all, but the intelligent life my sensors picked up. Wait! No, they're producing reality TV shows. These can't be the intelligent life I detected. That's ridiculous, Spock, even for you. The next thing you'll be telling me is that this golden river we've been following is made of liquid gold. $10 says it is. You're on! I also bet that in another universe, this was in reference to time travel. That's a very weird thing for you to say, Spock, but I guess it follows your track record for today. However, they indeed get confirmation that the liquid is gold. From the T-Rexes, who speak to them telepathically. I promised you guys dinosaurs, and I gave you psychic dinosaurs. I'm taking this as a good omen. Both your first officer and medical officer are correct. We, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, are the leading life form on this planet. You seriously call yourselves Tyrannosaurus Rex? The correct way to pronounce our name would require you to make sounds that only a broken Game Boy could produce. It's better to just go with T-Rex. Up until now, we thought you were pirates trying to steal our riches and molten gold. So even T-Rexes have a gold-based economy? I'm guessing the pirates are actually those aliens from the Batman Hostess comic that eat gold. Anyway, once Spock guessed that they were intelligent life, they realized that they came in peace. They further explain that this is the first time in eons that they've encountered a species that understood their telepathy, so they attacked first without trying to communicate. I'd say the pirates probably aren't a recent problem then, but then again, if you were pirates, would you want to try to take on some T-Rexes? But since they can communicate, the T-Rexes know they can have peace between them. Wadsworth objects to this. Oh no you don't! Talking dinosaurs! Rivers of gold! You can't fool me, you lousy monsters! You just want to kill us all and save all these jewels for yourself!
You are spare parts, aren't you, bud?
What? What? I don't know how to unpack all that! Just, wow, dude! Well, I won't let you hear! I won't let you! Take this, you lousy murdering monsters!
Are you crazy? Is that your problem?
He starts shooting his German Luger-shaped phaser to the horror of the tongue Rexes. No, you will disequalize the organic interior of the cavern. The entire mountain will be destroyed. The mountain is organic? I feel like we should be talking about how the mountain is apparently alive. Kirk punches the idiot for his utter stupidity. Say, how did the record handle this scene?
Greedy fool!
Huh, guess Kirk wasn't really that mad at him. Their only hope is the dinosaurs, who offer our heroes a chance to ride on their backs to safety. And indeed, the T-Rexes hurry out, all two of them I guess, before the mountain collapses. Later, they're back aboard the Enterprise. No mention is made of what happened to Wadsworth, whether he was treated for his temporary insanity or punished for his bottomless stupidity, whatever was the cause. Although I like to think they let the dinosaurs eat him. Serves them right for destroying their home just to steal useless gemstones. Well, another solar system explored, and another inhabited planet signed up as a member of the Federation. Man, Federation membership was pretty lax and easy to do back in the TOS days. Guess it was more like just getting a magazine subscription. McCoy complains that this would have been easier if Spock's instruments had told him the dinosaurs were the intelligent life. And so our comic ends with actually a pretty TOS-style exchange, so kudos to the writers. But anyone with half a brain would have known there was no intelligent life there. Is that not so, Doctor? Well, I think I have some work to do in sickbay, if you'll excuse me. Ah, going to work on the other half of your brain, eh? This comic is goofy and incredibly dumb, but it is very fun. It's a story meant for little kids, so I'm not really going to begrudge a lot of the goofier stuff like telepathic dinosaurs or streams of molten gold or anything like that. Same for the fact that there's not exactly a lot of character development or arcs or anything. It's just a fun little action-adventure type of thing. And like I said, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy are all pretty much in character, which I appreciate. The art, for the most part, is okay. Just a bit goofy on the colors, so there isn't much consistency in the backgrounds, but again, for little kids who would probably appreciate the more diverse color range. The record part is actually pretty decent for the most part as an audio drama type of thing. It's short at only 14 minutes, and sometimes the editing is a bit quick-paced, but it gets the job done. Just wish they had done more to match the voices and performance better. I can see us looking at more of these in the future. Weird note about them, though. I decided not to decorate the set and Star Trek stuff, partially because the record didn't have the normal Star Trek sound effects in it, understandable and all, except they do have one sound effect from it. The phaser sound. Not sure why they have that one and not any of the others, but there you go. Next time, though, we're going back to writing that's a little more chaotic, as we take a look at the second issue of DC Challenge. These are the new voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its mission, to explore strange new worlds. Jim, why are you telling me this? I've been your first officer for over a decade now. I think I know what our mission is.
Hello my friends, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for notifications on new video releases. If you'd like to support future videos, you can check out my Patreon or purchase a t-shirt via Teespring or Shark Robot. Thanks for watching!